What if the secret to your next big breakthrough wasn't more hustle, but more boredom? This is part one of a 5-part series on building a sharper, stronger entrepreneur. And today we're starting with boredom because it's the hidden tool no one really talks about anymore. Most of us treat boredom like it's a problem, something to get rid of, something to scroll past, binge away, or bury under a pile of work. But what if boredom is actually the thing that unlocks your next big move? In this video, we're going to talk about how boredom can spark creativity, reveal inefficiencies, give you space for long-term planning, push you toward learning new skills, and even make you a better problem solver. And I'll share a 2024 Texas A&M study that proves boredom, yes, boredom, can actually be useful for your growth. And why am I doing this? Because Resellers gives you real solutions. When you're in the reselling game, or any business for that matter, there's this pressure to stay busy, list more items, answer more messages, source more inventory, just go, go, go. You convince yourself that if you're not moving, you're losing. But here's the problem. Constant motion can keep you stuck in reaction mode. You're so busy with the daily grind that you don't notice the bigger opportunities. It feels productive in the moment, but it's actually like running on a treadmill. You're moving fast, but you're not getting anywhere new. That's where boredom comes in.
Boredom hit me so hard I googled fun things to do with bubble wrap. Spoiler, it's just popping it.
It is fun. Look, boredom isn't emptiness. It's a signal. It's your brain telling you that it has room to just wander. And when it wanders, that's when connections form. That's when the weak spots in your system stand out. That's when your brain starts working the problem instead of just brushing it off. Boredom is your mind's reset button. Step back and fresh ideas start to grow. And here's the science to back it up. A 2024 Texas A&M study from Dr. Heather Lynch's Emotion Science Lab challenges how we think about negative emotions like boredom, sadness, anger, and anxiety. As the article puts it, a so-called bad feeling can trigger behavior that leads to something better. In other words, boredom isn't the enemy, it's the signal. It kicks you in the ass out of cruise control and forces you to see things differently. Let's start with creativity. Think about some of the biggest breakthroughs in history. For example, Newton sitting under a tree, bored out of his mind when the apple fell. Einstein daydreaming about riding on a beam of light before he built the theory of relativity. They weren't grinding away, they were letting their minds drift. For resellers, this can mean your next big product idea, your next way of marketing, or even a smarter sourcing strategy might show up when you're not trying. And here's the danger. Every time you grab your phone because you're a little bored, you're killing that moment. Social media, texts, notifications, they rush in and fill the space that your brain needed to wander. It feels like relief, but it actually strips away the silence that makes creativity possible. Next up, boredom helps you spot inefficiencies. When you're always tasking to feel productive, you don't notice the wasted steps. But when you finally slow down, things stick out. Maybe you realize you've been typing the same response to buyers over and over instead of setting up an automated template. Or you notice you're listing items in a way that's taking a long ass time instead of getting it done quickly. But here's the trap. If the second you get a little restless, you flip open TikTok, you never notice those problems. You're distracting yourself instead of streamlining your process. That's why protecting boredom from devices is key. The payoff is efficiency.
I got bored and made a spreadsheet of my spreadsheets. Still don't know why.
You're so weird, bro. Boredom is also the space where long-term strategies live. Most people spend all day putting out fires, returns, listings, customer messages. That's the daily grind. But when the busy work dies down and you're bored, that's the perfect moment to step back and ask bigger questions. Where do I want this business to be a year from now? Should I be moving into wholesale instead of only thrifting? Can I make my own products and create a brand that's my own? Should I look at other platforms? Do I want to grow a team or keep it solo and lean? Those thoughts don't show up between Instagram reels. They show up when your mind has room. So if you want vision, you've got to guard your silence from your screen. Now let's talk about learning. This is where people get it really wrong. They think, if I fill up boredom with learning, am I really letting boredom do its job? Here's how I see it. You don't fight boredom right away. You let yourself sit in it. You let your brain wander. And then naturally you get curious. That's when you open up a new article about reselling trends. That's when you finally watch that tutorial on cross-listing software. That's when you start experimenting with a new platform. It's not really busy work. It's curiosity-driven learning. But if your phone's in your hand every time, that curiosity gets hijacked. Instead of learning, you're scrolling. Instead of building, you're consuming. So the boredom window closes and the opportunity goes with it.
I got so bored once I read the terms and conditions. I still don't know what the hell I agreed to. Stupid lawyers.
And finally, boredom makes you a better problem solver. Normally, when you hit a roadblock, you want the fastest fix. Just patch it up and move on. But when you're bored, you don't rush. You sit with the problem longer. That's when deeper, more innovative solutions show up. Maybe your sales are slowing down. If you rush, you might just slash prices. Quick fix, right? But if you let yourself think about it during downtime, maybe you realize the real issue is that your titles aren't optimized, or you're listing the wrong kinds of products. And once again, if you fill that downtime with swiping through your notifications, you never get to the deeper fix. Boredom plus patience equals better answers. And speaking of better answers, if you want help writing titles and descriptions that actually make you more money, hit the join button down below. As a 40cal top tier posse member, you'll get access to Bruce, my AI lister that cuts listing time and delivers results. So how do you actually use boredom as a tool instead of just a problem? Here's some action steps. First, don't fight boredom. The next time you feel it, sit in it for 10 to 15 minutes. Don't grab your phone right away. Just chill. Second, keep a notebook nearby. Jot down whatever pops into your head. Sometimes those random thoughts turn into million-dollar ideas. Third, use those downtime windows to review your processes. Ask yourself, what feels off right now? What's slowing me down? Fourth, reframe boredom. Stop calling it wasted time. Start calling it strategic time. That shift alone will change how you see it. And finally, control your devices. Turn off notifications, leave your phone in another room. Protect your boredom so it can do its job. Let's recap this whole video with this. Boredom isn't lost time. It's the space where growth starts. It's the quiet space where creativity lives, where inefficiencies get exposed, where long-term goals are born, where real learning happens, and where better solutions finally show up. But only if you protect it from your devices. So the next time boredom knocks, don't see a block, see a key, unlocking the future of who you're meant to be. And remember, this is just part 1 of 5. Each video in this series is designed to sharpen how you think, how you sell, and how you survive in this game. Stick with me because the next one digs even deeper, baby. To continue supporting the channel, you can always send your thanks with the thanks button down below. You can buy the Resellutions to add value to the photos you're already taking. Better photos means better sales, plain and simple. And you can become a member of the Resellutions posse and get access to videos that no one else has access to. Plus, on Wednesdays, I send out a post. You get to ask 2 burning questions, which I deep dive in very long, open format conversations on Thursdays. This is a great time. We always share a ton of different information and we talk about all kinds of subjects. It's always fun.